What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel, and today I want to talk to you guys about an article I found online. It actually was posted 4 years ago, but I want to talk about Mel Gibson and him exposing the satanic child sacrifices in Hollywood. So in this article on Steemit, it's kind of interesting how there's a few parts here I want to go over because it kind of feels like they're wording it to deflect. It could be that this article is designed to deflect attention away from these things actually occurring in real life. Because when you talk to people about human sacrifice, they think you're crazy and they don't think it's really happening now. They think it's something that happened in humankind's ancient past history, and it's not something that's currently done, but it is actually done by the elites of society, quote unquote elites. I don't even like to call them elites because they're actually beneath the common man. They're beneath us, actually. They're like the scum of the earth. They're parasites of humanity, and their philosophies are completely idiotic and false. But anyway, I'm gonna go over this article here. So who I'm referring to, these elites, are high level officials, billionaire and $1 trillionaire family philanthropists, corporate CEOs, the Jesuit order leaders, Hollywood members, Vatican members, high-level government officials, high-level people in society, right? Anyway, so let's go over this article. And I also want to add that these people go through secret societies. So they go through secret societies, they have their own belief system, and Mel Gibson actually talks about that. So let's go over the article. Hollywood studios are drenched in the blood of innocent children, according to Mel Gibson, who claims the consumption of baby blood is so popular in Hollywood that it basically operates as its own currency. Hollywood elites are the enemy, quote unquote, enemy of mankind, continually acting contrary to our best interests and, quote unquote, breaking every God-given taboo known to man, including the sanctity of children, end quote. Mel Gibson said it in the London, where he's promoting his role in Daddy's Home 2, his most prominent on-screen role in years. Quote, "It's an open secret in Hollywood. These people have their own religious and spiritual teachings and their own social and moral frameworks. They have their sacred texts. They are sick, believe me, and they couldn't be at more odds with what America stands for," end quote. This interview happened on the Graham Norton show on the BBC on Friday 4 years ago. And let's see, so Mel Gibson appeared on the Graham Norton show on Friday, and he schooled shocked guests about the real nature of Hollywood elites in the green room backstage after his appearance, explaining that he spent the last 10 years, quote, "working on my own ideas outside of the Hollywood system," end quote, after being blacklisted by Hollywood in 2006 for sharing opinions about the industry and the world that run counter to the liberal orthodoxy, Gibson said. Now, I don't personally myself, I'm not reading from the article right now, I'm just saying my opinion. I don't really follow like liberal or Democrat or, all these political terms when both sides are always controlled by these elites. They send in their own people to infiltrate, right, the parties, right? So I'm going to continue reading. Gibson said, I don't know how to break it to you gently. Hollywood is institutionalized pedophilia. They are using and abusing kids. They churn through a huge amount of kids every year. Their spiritual beliefs, if you can call them that, direct them to harvest the energy of kids. They feast on this stuff and they thrive on it, the Hacksaw Ridge director said, end quote. And then this is the interviewer. He's like, what do you mean? Mel Gibson says, this isn't some artistic abstraction. They harvest the blood of children. They eat their flesh. They believe this gives them life force. This is true. I'll tell you guys about this in the occult. If the child is suffering in body and psyche before it died, they believe it gives them extra life force. So I'm going to just read I'm coming out of the article now. So these elites, there's a whole system set up to actually, and Disney is a part of this. They raise and groom little actors and they abuse them, and they put them through intense mental and physical trauma, and they use them as sex slaves pretty much. And then they pretty much tell them where to go and what to say and what to promote and how to influence the public after they become famous. But a lot of these people, and especially the ones who are being abused, they have to do sacrifices and actually perform rituals, sex rituals with children and other people, and actually perform sacrifices on animals and children. And what they'll do is they'll actually take the victim and scare them in the ritual so badly, and that when they kill them, they'll drain their blood, which is filled with adrenaline. and these people drink that stuff. It's called adrenochrome. And I believe in the actual interview, which I've seen the actual video footage, Mel Gibson says that a newborn baby is actually one of the highest currencies in Hollywood. Now, actually, I used the internet online archive. It's called the Wayback Machine. It's just a website online, and it holds an archive of it holds website data for years, and anyone can use it. But I found that even if using this tool, the actual video have been the videos that were embedded in these pages have been removed somehow. So the internet is scrubbed of this BBC Graham Norton show with Mel Gibson explaining this. But it's out there, and I'm going to try to find it, and I'll try to put it in this video. But if I can't, I just want you guys to know it's out there. And these people did scrub it, because I can't find it on all these websites. There's a link in this actual article, but it's broken. So apparently he got blacklisted because maybe he was speaking out about what he was seeing and hearing, and I'm sure he had to partake in a lot of this stuff and actually sell out himself physically and possibly sacrifice someone close to him to even become famous, because you can't just get into the movie industry without doing their thing, without doing their rituals and their etc. It doesn't matter how talented you are or how attractive you are. It's about connections. It's about how much you sacrifice and how much you do for the brotherhood. And also I noticed that they started exposing him. Like, I know he said lewd things about his ex-wife, but they pretty much did a smear campaign because he was making the Passion of Christ, and he did made a really good movie about the truth about Jesus Christ, and it's a really good movie. And he's making the second one, and the Passion of Christ Resurrection. And you know what? I don't want to say anything until I see it, because I don't know if he's still working with Hollywood and trying to mislead people away from God. So I don't know if they're going to put something weird in that movie, some new age nonsense bullshit. Because he does look kind of, I saw an interview with Mel Gibson recently, he does kind of look a little bit hippie and new aged, so I'm hoping he's not going back to these occultists, right? But anyway, we'll see when the movie comes out. So let's continue the article. Hollywood is drenched in the blood of innocent children. For a long time, all the references to pedophilia and cannibalism were symbolic or elusive. Actually, Eminem was rapping a lot about that. I have a video on my channel exposing that. But I was personally, continuing the article, but I was personally introduced to the practice in the early 2000s. I can talk about this now because these people, the execs, they're all dead now. But don't let this article trick you. These people, there are other executives, other high members in Hollywood and all over the world. These secret societies infected all countries and all governments all over the world. So all of these high-level people they're all doing it. And you can see their connections through their signs and their hand symbols or their handshakes, or who they're connected with, who they're seen with, what they promote, their symbols in their corporate logos, the numerology they put out. It's all connected. So that's how you can tell if some kind of group or corporation is involved with these, because they do have to say they're part of the group indirectly. So let's see, continuing. So the blood of a sexually abused infant is considered highly enriched and is highly prized. The money changing hands, the favors, the kickbacks, you have no idea. The babies are a high functioning currency of their, there it is, all on their own. Babies are their premium brand of high grade caviar, cocaine, diamond steak. That's pretty disturbing. Okay, let's finish this up. But according to Gibson, this isn't a flavor of the month perversion, popular among men and women who have grown bored of standard issue sins. So other drugs that aren't giving them that thrill. This isn't anything new. This has been happening. If you do some research, you'll see it's a medical, physical, alchemical phenomenon. You can find it behind the scenes in all dark areas in history. So he's saying it's always been happening. It's a dark, multi-dimensional occult art and practice used by secret societies in the last few hundred years, probably for thousands of years, for social programming and mind control, and raised to a zenith by Hollywood in America in our era. So here's the link to the actual video, and we see that the link is broken, so video cannot be found. So anyway, it's all connected, because in history, essentially the highest levels of societies, they've always tried to demystify and quantify everything they see in their reality. They want to physically explain everything in their reality and beyond. So they naturally turn to things they don't understand, like seers or psychics or fortune tellers or astronomers or alchemists or occultists, right? People who study black arts, summoning demons, contacting the other realm, things that scientists don't understand, right? So they've been using these, and essentially these occultists teach these high-level members of society lies, because these evil spirits that they're contacting teach them bullshit, essentially. So, example, if we go to the Mayans, right? They were doing the same thing. They were sacrificing people. They were drinking blood because they believed that eating another person, their enemy in battle, would give them more power, more mana. So it's the same thing. This new age stuff, it's all connected with this. Like, they're teaching all the youths about new age. Oh, we're like the Eastern mysticism, Buddhist type thinking, philosophy, that we're all one, we're all connected, we're all energy, that good and bad are two sides of the same coin, that we're all inner divinity, we're all fractal God, we're all a piece of God, and we're all connected, and we're all energy, and that God is literally just a source, and that we can ascend and become God, like gods, lesser gods, and reach a higher state of nirvana. And they'll teach that their good deeds outweigh their bad. That's why there's always a black and white symbolism. If you look in movies, music videos, hell, even that John Wick movie I watched recently, there's always a black and white tiles, black and white coloring. Could be red and blue. It's always about the duality, because they believe in an idiotic philosophy that's completely retarded and wrong, because we don't live in a world of dualities. Like, they're so ridiculous. Like, darkness is an absence of something. Light is something. Heat is something, is energy. Cold is nothing. So everything is opposite to nothing then. That's not we don't live in a world of dualities. All right, guys, thank you so much, and God bless you and your families.